What is going on, Trash Talkers? We are back with another episode for you. In today's video, we're going to give you our power rankings heading into Week 7 in the NFL. All that and much more coming your way right now! All right, before we get into today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as it will help us out tremendously. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video. All right, Nick, Week 7 is here, and we have our power rankings to get to. Starting off with teams 25 through 32, which teams do we have here, Nick?
Yeah, we got some interesting teams, but I want to start off with the Houston Texans, who are on a bye week in Week 6, and I really have high hopes for the Houston Texans coming out of this bye week. They really need to turn things around. I believe Davis Mills is better than he's been playing. We've seen Dameon Pierce get off to a really solid start after all that hype during the preseason. I want to see this offense just do more because I think the defense is playing better than expected, and that's with rookie Derek Stingley holding them down in that secondary. Really like what he's been able to do. There are some really key pieces on this team that could be anchors for them moving forward, but I want to see the Houston Texans really take that step forward because I don't think they are the third worst team in the NFL right now. I believe that they are better and have the ability to be better. I just have to see it, and I haven't yet, so I really want to see that moving forward. But a team that really took that step in this past week was the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, what an absolute demolishment by the Buccaneers to be one of the top teams with the greatest quarterback of all time, and for the Pittsburgh Steelers to not have some of the best weapons on their team, specifically on defense, and show Tom Brady just how difficult it is to win in the NFL. We saw Kenny Pickett get hurt, and that really didn't stop him. Mitch Trubisky came in, and they didn't skip a beat. The Pittsburgh Steelers are playing with a lot of heart right now. They're playing with a lot of momentum as well, and that really carried them through that game. It was a great victory, and hopefully they can keep this momentum up as they go into future weeks, because I think if this team can play anything like they did last week, and as they get healthier, they could be a much more difficult team to stop than we first expected.
Speaking of teams that need to get healthier, I want to talk about the San Francisco 49ers, that massive loss to the Atlanta Falcons. Kyle Shanahan looking at his former team coming out with the victory, but the San Francisco 49ers are an absolute shell of themselves when it comes to the roster. Right now, they are dealing with so many injuries, it's almost unfathomable, and they are still trying to win football games and doing a really good job at staying in them. If this team got healthy, they are not 22, just like you said, Nick, for the Houston Texans. This San Francisco 49ers team would be a top 10 team if they were fully healthy. I know they have what it takes to win. We just need to see it pan out. We need to see them get healthy. I think that this entire team is much better than they have shown so far. But a team right now that I think is playing a little higher than normal, the Indianapolis Colts. They have looked awful to this point, and they were able to squeak out a victory this past weekend. I do not foresee that being the case the rest of the season. This is a team that is led by the dusting of Matt Ryan, but the rushing game just hasn't been there. And yes, I know Jonathan Taylor didn't play this past week, but the fact remains that he has been on the field this season, and it has not looked the same like it did last year. It looks like the league was able to catch up to what the Indianapolis Colts and Frank Reich were trying to do to them, and they have adjusted sevenfold. So now it is time for the Indianapolis Colts to try to readjust their offense. I just do not think you can teach an old dog new tricks. That's why Matt Ryan leading this team is not going to be pretty for them. I think that the Indianapolis Colts could end up falling by the end of the season.
Now moving over to teams 9 through 16, I want to take a look at 15, the New York Jets. A very surprising team so far this season, sitting at 4-2 through the first 6 weeks. The Jets have really come alive. Zach Wilson coming back seems to have helped this team, specifically on the ground. We've seen Breece Hall really come into his own, really be one of the best running backs in the NFL up to this point, and I think with the offense playing as well as they are, giving a lot of momentum back to the defense, and we're seeing some of these young studs, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, really step up and be pivotal guys on that defense. The team as a whole is playing really strong. They've had some really nice matchups, and I think they got a great victory over the Green Bay Packers, where a lot of people were counting them out, thought Aaron Rodgers was just going to be his old self and get the job done. The Jets proved to them that they are the real deal, that they are not going to stand down to anybody, no matter what accolades that they bring to the table. They are a young and hungry team, and I don't think we can count the New York Jets out like we have in years past. But a team that I just mentioned, the Green Bay Packers, sitting here at number 12, this is a fall from grace. Sitting at 3-3 so far, the Green Bay Packers have no chemistry on offense whatsoever. Aaron Jones can't get going. A.J. Dillon can't get going. None of these receivers are working out except for Allen Lazard, and Aaron Rodgers is just plain missing his guys left and right. It does not look like the back-to-back MVP that we currently have. I really don't understand what's going on, and it's really impacting them on both sides of the ball. The defense cannot feed off of this energy. They can't get anything going themselves. Jair Alexander being injured is not helping. I really need to see the Green Bay Packers get back to playing in their old ways. I think they will, but they've got to prove it to me first.
And taking a look at teams 1 through 8, I want to focus on number 6 here, the Minnesota Vikings. They have quietly gotten to 5-1 on the season, and we saw that massive victory in week 1, and then they stumbled a bit when they faced off against the Philadelphia Eagles, but then again, who hasn't, as the Eagles sit 6-0. Regardless, they are 5-1 and they are humming on all cylinders. We saw this running game really gash the Miami Dolphins rush defense, and we saw Dalvin Cook really go off in this game. On top of that, Justin Jefferson reminded us exactly who he was, and Kirk Cousins, while he may not be an MVP candidate, is subtly doing all the right things, not turning the ball over, and he's being primetime Kirk Cousins. You like that? Because I think the Minnesota Vikings sure do. But another team I want to talk about, the biggest surprise in my opinion this year, the New York Football Giants. Nick, you talked about the Jets, but the Giants are no joke. They are finding ways to win, and we talked about it a couple weeks ago when we asked whether they were frauds or not. Well, they are not, and they have proven that time and time again. Now taking down Baltimore with Lamar Jackson, they absolutely stymied him. Wink Martindale did a phenomenal job against the Baltimore Ravens, his former team, really dialing up blitzes and really getting after Lamar Jackson, making his life insufferable. Now the Giants offense has really started to gel and get things going. Saquon Barkley is the lifeblood of this offense. They ride and die with what he can do on the football field. But now as they get healthier, if they can get Kadarius Toney back, if they can get Kenny Golladay into the mix, these are guys that they can start to rely upon. We saw Wan'Dale Robinson get into the mix. That's great and all, but they need their playmakers back in the passing game. Daniel Jones is one of those guys that you really don't know what you're going to get, but it seems like Brian Daboll has unleashed the beast in this guy. He's doing it on the ground and through the air, and the Giants find themselves in the top 5 of our power rankings.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it early in the preseason, how Brian Daboll is going to make a major impact on this team, and he is absolutely incredible, and this offense looks so different than we have seen in years past with Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley being healthy is a huge step up for this offense and really going a long way. I want and I hope that they continue to keep on this path.
All right, well, I want to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below if you agree with our power rankings. Which teams do we have too high and which teams do we have too low? Let us know in the comments down below. All right, well, that's going to be all for now. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell. We go live every single day. That'll be all. Peace and love.